It's very serious indeed. I mean, if we look at what Joe Biden has done to Afghanistan via this withdrawal, I mean, this is the kind of person who should not be in charge of America and by extension, a lot of the world. I mean, he has left the Taliban with, 20,000 Humvees, 170 tanks, hundreds of thousands of guns, and more than 100 helicopters. So this is how the war on terror ends. The war on terror ends with the American president, Joe Biden, arming the side that attacked America on 9/11 20 years ago. It is just extraordinary. He has just handed an incredible victory, military and political, to this ruthless Islamist movement, which has close ties to Al Qaeda. Any president who does that is not fit for the job, and people have to wake up to that fact.
It really scares me, Brendan, because, I mean, it's not just the culture wars, there's the real wars we've got to think about. It's always a point of danger when you get a rising power that thinks it's time for its moment in the sun, obviously in this case China, meeting a declining power that might still lash out, one last slash if that rising power challenges it too much. I just wonder what message China is going to take out of this.
Well, that's the thing, what message is this going to send to other countries around the world? I mean, China will be, and Iran as well, and Russia, they will be watching the events in Afghanistan with keen interest. And what they will see is an American empire in decline. They will see that America has become an untrustworthy ally. It didn't stand by the Afghan people. It didn't stand by the Afghan forces or the Afghan government that it helped to create. It just walked away from them. So the message that this sends to the world is that America doesn't have much of a backbone. It doesn't have a stomach for a fight. It abandons its allies at the first sign of trouble, and it cannot be trusted. And this will benefit enormously America's opponents, especially China, which is already making moves to have a healthy relationship with the Taliban, a fruitful relationship with the Taliban. And it will send a message to people around the world who might normally have looked to America for help. Don't bother. America won't stand by you. So this is catastrophic for the United States, and Joe Biden needs to own it.
Now, I actually think it's not just a sign of America's diplomatic or military sort of decline, but also cultural decline. I wonder, look, am I seeing too much into this? I mean, looking at symbols, I know, but still, Biden's vice president, the woman who'd step in if he couldn't go on, the woman who said that the evacuation of US nationals from Afghanistan was a top priority, was actually in Vietnam over the weekend, holding talks there with people representing the disabled and the LGBT community. Somehow, Brendan, that strikes me as rather telling.
Very telling indeed. I mean, it's such a delicious irony in some ways. So you have the vice president in a former country that America was at war with for a long time, and where America walked away in 1975 in the infamous Saigon the withdrawal, and she's there in that country, in Vietnam, pushing this woke agenda onto the local people and refusing to talk about Afghanistan, the new theatre of America's decline, the new theatre that demonstrates that America is a power on the way out on the global stage. So it was really, really telling. And what it suggests is that part of the problem for the United States now is wokeness. Wokeness, I think, is the form that decadence now takes. This is like the last days of the Roman Empire, twiddling your thumbs while Rome burns. What we have in the United States situation is pushing naff, stupid woke politics about gender and whatever else it might be, while the world burns, while Afghanistan burns. This is a decadent regime in Washington. Wokeness is their gospel. And I think the sooner American people and other people wake up to that, the better.
Yeah, but they haven't got much to wake up to. If Biden goes, Kamala Harris takes over, I mean, how's America better then? That's a tragedy of this.